I've skated some awful skate parks before, but this one is in the running for the absolute worst. Let me show you what I mean.
We're rolling. Welcome to
Roll Minnesota.
You're watching Roll Minnesota.
You're watching Roll Minnesota.
Minnesota seal of approval.
We're watching Roll Minnesota.
Subscribe.
Hey everybody, what's up from Roll Minnesota, your state of skate. Butch Lehman out here, and today we're gonna travel to 4 different skate parks up in the northwestern part of the Twin Cities. Now this first one that we're at to start things out with is Brooklyn Park Skatepark, and I've actually never been here. We've got a bunch of different modular style, true ride-esque ramps, and we'll give you a little tour of the park, and then we're gonna lace up some tricks before moving on to skate park number 2. Anyway guys, let's roll into it. Alright, so back here we have a quarter pipe situation with a couple different height structures to it, and I think there's some potential to maybe like transfer up or down off of it, so I think that's something we'll have to try out. All right, now that we're all loosey-goosey, we gotta get the legs oriented for spin tricks, so I think we'll do some full cabs on this ledge that I'm sitting on. Over here behind me, we have a little angled grind box, and it actually has round coping up on the top, which I think is great. And it's a pretty high obstacle, so this should be a good warm-up to get the legs moving. Interesting situation with the bench here, but I think we can get a couple tricks up top. I just want to do a Royale. Like, I don't have freestyle frames or anti-rockers, so the frame should just fit in on the top of that. I think this box has some potential, so we'll go 360 porn. It's a trick that I really like to do and feels like the right spot for it. Hey, we can't go wrong with a little fakie 540. You know I like those. All right, guys, we're back with park number 2 of the day, and this is another one I've never been to before. This is Champlin Skatepark in Champlin, Minnesota, just slightly north of where we were just at in Brooklyn Park. As you can see, these are prefabricated metal ramps around here, and it's not looking like the greatest of variety. I'll show you guys what we got to work with. First, we got a mini ramp with a little transition down. Pretty slim pickings on this mini ramp. I don't know, it's probably like 12 feet wide, I would guess, so not ideal for grinding. And if we go this way, we've got some of those composite material ledges. So we got one little one here. Looks like it has angle iron on the one side, which is interesting. And it actually stops a little bit early. Then we've got like a shorter manual pad version over there. Got a little fun box going on over here. Square rail on top, crossing down, spine, and another quarter pipe. This quarter pipe appears to be 4 feet tall, but it's also not very wide. So any grinds you do, you're gonna have to get in and get out right away like a thief in the night. We also have a short little round rail over here. That guy could be some fun. And then there's also a longer one that has a kink to it, and this one is square, unfortunately. You can see all the rust built up on there. This thing hasn't been skated in a while. All right, I think we'll start with Old Reliable and do the fakie 540 on the spine, since this is one that I know I can do pretty easily. I'm not sure what I can realistically get on the quarter pipe behind me because of how narrow it is, but one of the classics for me is the 270 wraparound back unity. I absolutely love that trick, and that one is perfect for something that's really tight like this. Now that that's out of the way, I think we'll hit the P-rail with a couple of tricks, and one that I really want to get is the full true topsoul. I used to be really good at these on little flat bars like this, but it's been a while since I've done one, so hopefully we can resurrect that one. Next, I was eyeing up this ledge behind me, and it has all sorts of screws sticking out. It's really not meant to be skated as a ledge, but I think we can get some top sides on it. So I want to do alley-oop top horn, but also get the true top horn. That way we're showcasing that technical dexterity to spin either direction, alley-oop and true spin. This one might take a while, but I think we can get it. All right, well, I think that's a wrap for Champlin Skatepark, and I do have a couple other parks that I still want to hit today, so I don't want to get too much time wasted out here. I was able to get a few tricks done, despite this park being pretty bad. This is one that I would not recommend if you have a session that you're looking to get. There's plenty of other options in the area. Speaking of which, we need to migrate on to our next park. This will be park number 3 of the day. Well, we made it to park number 3, and this park is haunted. It's located in Anoka, Minnesota, which is known as the Halloween capital of the world. And I gotta tell you, I've skated some awful skate parks before, but this one is in the running for the absolute worst. Let me show you what I mean. Over here, we've got a cool box, and this is probably the main obstacle that I'll be skating today. But a lot of the screws are sticking out quite a bit. And I don't want to lose any appendages or rip open my shins or my hands, so we're gonna have to be really careful with that. Also, if you didn't notice, the ground is really sandy, really gravelly. And you can probably see where the grass is coming up through the asphalt, so that's a sign of the deterioration. We got a couple quarter pipes up here. Skate light is buckling a bit, and the coping is actually not together on the seam. So if you're gonna try to grind the quarter pipes, you gotta watch out for that seam because it is not aligned. Speaking of skate light, we're missing skate light there. That thing there is like the San Andreas Fault. Once again, we have a spine, but there's a big crack in the surfacing of this. Over here, this ledge is really deteriorated. It almost looked like somebody got hungry and was like nibbling on the side of the ledge. Dangerous right there. I don't know if this one was a good idea, but it was along the way, so I figured we'd stop and at least see if we could mess around a bit. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. One final thing, I don't want to destroy my new wheels, so we're gonna revert back to an older pair of skates. Welcome back the Razor SL Graphites. It's my backup pair of skates, and we're gonna be using those since I don't really care what happens to the wheels here. That screw right there, it wanted to take my hand. You know what Brian Airgun says?
Watch the hat, player.
The surface of this quarter pipe is in pretty good condition, so I'm gonna resurrect an old classic, and that's gonna be a thread the needle to fakie. Surprisingly, I did find a gap out here. We're gonna go from the spine all the way down to the transition over there. So we're gonna start here and then launch all the way there. And just to keep things as safe as possible, we're just gonna do a straight air on this one. All right, I did get a few tricks, but I think we're gonna call it quits here at Anoka Skatepark. Again, the ground is absolutely terrible, and this is one of the worst conditioned skate parks I've ever skated. Nevertheless, I was able to get some clips here, which is kind of surprising, but we still have one more skate park to visit, so we're gonna pack up and head to our final destination. Well, we made it to skate park number 4, and this one is one of the strangest skate parks I've ever seen. A lot of really interesting features here, which could be hit and miss. Some of them look like they have potential, but we'll give you a closer look. We have a traditional mini ramp, little curb. Over here, this thing looks really interesting. It appears to be like a roller manual pad, but the edges are waxed, so we'll see if that grinds later on. This thing looks really cool. It's an angled manual pad with angle iron up on the top, so this looks like it could be grindable and skatable. That one I'm excited for. This rail, on the other hand, is so short, I can't really envision anything happening on there. Each part of the rail is like 4 feet, maybe? More skate wave happening over here. At least the coping isn't like too recessed. That's usually how you want to see it, sticking up just a little bit. And then we have a really steep jersey barrier. Type of obstacle I usually don't skate a whole lot, but I do like transitions, so we'll see if we can get something on here too. Over in the middle, we've got a square rail, and this thing is really cool. It's like a bench that's a ledge, and that's a marble on top. By the way, this is park number 4 of the day, and I'm extremely tired. Legs are sore, they're giving out, but I'm gonna do my best. We'll see what happens. You can see how chunky that is on the edge. Makes it really hard to lock into. We gotta get the sole grind. That's like the stereotypical grind though. Because of the angle, I feel like this thing will be really easy to topside, but I don't want to take it for granted, so we're gonna start with the topsole. But what I really want is a nice, steezy fish brain. So it's a really quick on and off, but that fish brain turned out so good. I'm pretty happy with that, especially after how long today's skating has gone on. That could have been really bad. Wow, almost got circumcised there. What a wild day. We went to 4 different skate parks today, scattered around the northwestern suburbs of Minneapolis. And some of the skate parks were duds, but I did manage to have fun at every one of them. And I think that's the goal when you're doing these types of sessions and you're going to new parks. It's always worth the experience for something new, even if it's not the best park out there. You'll find something to skate. That's the universal truth about blading, is there's always something to do. I'm Butch Lehman of Minnesota. Till next time, everybody, peace.